As we're working with terrains, sometimes we want to set specific areas where we want to only affect by ecosystem. Sometimes we need to change shapes or create other things, even create rivers. So using spline, it's a very nice and powerful tool that allowed us to do a lot of effects on the terrain with a path that we can go to draw. So let's go create a terrain right here. Okay, I'll take also the camera and I'll place the camera above and we'll look down. So we kind of overview our terrain at this point. Next, we're going to use a spline tool. And you notice if I extend, I have options to use the road or a spline. So for now, we'll just open a spline tool. And you can see from spline, we have our different options. We can have the material effect, the coloring or specific distribution. We have a geometry when we need to build tunnels, roads, or other things. And we can affect terrains as the river. So let's, for example, select our tools to just draw. And I'm going to just put few points around. And we'll go enable terrain effect. You notice it's not yet nothing rendered because we need to select what terrain or we want to apply it. So I'm going to click and enable. And you can see right here we have already kind of affecting terrain digging in. Of course, some artifacts, so to reduce them we can increase amplitude effect, so we can create kind of more deep trench going inside. And we also have options for this shapes of this. So this is kind of spline. We also can do effect as geometry. So for example, let's disable this one. If we go on geometry, you'll notice now we can create like one pipe going through, hanging around. Same things, you can create bridges, you can create roads or other things. Okay, and also we can use it as a material effect. So in this case, if we wanted effect material on terrain, we can go preload it. Okay, let's apply materials. The color, let's go switch to the constant, so we can create just one color. So in its wheel effect currently not yet set. Okay, let's open again. Right here we can say how this will apply stroke to white, so fill it, all this additional elements. We also can affect ecosystem. So for example, if you can create road and you set effect on a road, so you don't want the ecosystem populate on a road, the plants, you can have it cut through the ecosystem, so it will remove it and create correct effect. So right here we can again go click on that to affect our terrain, and we can also combine them. We can affect terrain, cut through, and we also can put it like a pipe inside of this. Okay, right here if we preview from the top, again the spline is kind of powerful tool. And when you draw, you still have ability to go back and modify it. You notice in the world browser, we have all of these different points. So if I want to modify point 1, I can select it, this point. Okay, let me select it again, this point. And there you go, I can go ahead and modify this. I can also modify all different properties for each point. So it's kind of like vector drawing. Nice things about this, that I don't actually physically going and molded the terrain. So if I did other ways, if I open terrain editor, and I can do in terrain editor, I actually can take paint effect. Let's go 2D, and we're going to invert. So you can see I can, but this way I'm affecting permanently my terrain. So if I can go back, you can see it's affecting permanently. But with a spline in effect, it is affecting only area temporary, recalculating based on the position of the spline and interaction with current terrain. Okay, we will use it, splines, to create rivers in our other tutorials. So we'll look a little bit closer on all properties for the our splines.